Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wheeled as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket angry, the bombs bursting in air, it broke through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Don't just throw a tailgate, own the tailgate with a Bojangles Big Bow Box. Because only Bojangles puts tailgate-ready fresh, never frozen, honey barbecue or buffalo bone-in wings with fall-off-the-bone juiciness right in the pocket. The only way to make these wings any better? With some made-from-scratch buttery biscuits, flavorful fixins, and freshly steeped legendary iced tea. So let the quarterback do the throwing, you do the winning. Because how can you expect to win the game if you don't win the tailgate? Bojangles, it's bow time.
Boutique Air in Muscle Shoals, Alabama offers direct flights to Atlanta and Pensacola. Boutique Air service runs twice daily, 7 days a week with fares starting at $59. Follow Boutique Air Muscle Shoals on Facebook at Boutique Air MSL and book your flight through boutiqueair.com. Boutique Air,
where you can fly private for the cost of commercial.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. My wife and I sat down with Harlan Mitchell and discussed our own estate planning needs. I know in our experience, Harlan brought up questions that caused us to think about our current situation and what we need to do moving forward. When you sit down with Harlan for your free consultation, you're going to find out things that you may have not thought about when it comes to estate planning. I encourage you to go to BamaEstatePlanning.com or give Harlan Mitchell a call at 256-216-9884 and schedule your free consultation today.
Experience the difference at Athens Bible School. The vision and purpose is to provide each student a quality education in a Christ-centered environment to develop the whole person spiritually, mentally, physically, and socially in safe and supportive surroundings. The solid biblical foundation permeates learning and culture in the classrooms and every extracurricular activity.
Hey everybody, this is Daryl Worley, and you're listening to The Mark White Show. Hey, step up and make a difference like he does.
This old world is full of hurt and pain. A little sunshine and a whole lot of rain. It don't take much to drive those clouds away. Let's all do something good today. You never know what someone's going through. Don't underestimate what you can do. A friendly smile's a tiny price to pay. Let's all do something good today.
Welcome to another edition of the Mark White Show. I am your host, Mark White, and by now you all should know that September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. One child in particular that I followed through her journey was Maggie Grant, and Maggie was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, also known as AML, on March 18, 2019. She underwent chemotherapy and gained remission in August of that year, but by January 2020, her cancer had returned. Maggie bravely endured more tests, chemotherapy, and a bone marrow transplant with bone marrow donated by her older brother, Kyle. But by November 2020, her cancer had returned. Maggie passed away on March 26, 2021, surrounded by her family. Maggie Grant was only 4 years old. Right now I have with me Maggie's grandmother, and I wanted her to share the movement that she has started in Cullman County, because she and her husband and their family are doing an incredible job bringing awareness to childhood cancer. I had seen a sign at the Cullman County Courthouse. As soon as I saw that, I reached out to her and wanted to let this be an encouragement to other people who are listening to find opportunities to bring awareness to childhood cancer. Right now, I'd like to welcome to the show Lori Bright Luckhard. Welcome to the show, Lori.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I know it's very difficult, but as I mentioned, you have taken this and made it your mission to bring awareness to childhood cancer.
That's true. It's the only way I really could cope with the loss of Maggie. I've just got a passion for this. I feel like that if more people understood what childhood cancer is, that we might have more involvement in the treatment and the research and that kind of thing. So it's just something I can't let go of.
I understand the fact that you've taken this and moved forward to keep Maggie's legacy alive.
Exactly. And that's what I want to do. I want this done in memory of her, and I want it done so that other children will have more hope. You know, they can see that there's things being done for them, and there's things people are fighting for them. These children can't fight on their own. They don't realize what we realize as adults, that there's not enough funding, there's not enough research. It's nothing that they should know at their age, but it's things that we know that we try to do something about.
Childhood cancer affects families across the country and the world. When I think about a story like Maggie's, it's not a local story, it's everybody's story. It's a story that anybody, wherever they're at right now, can think about what they can do in the month of September and year-round when it comes to childhood cancer.
Exactly. This is not just the month of September thing. This is something that I'm going to pursue year-round. It's not, our hope is that people will see orange ribbons, orange bows, yellow ribbons, yellow bows, gold, anything that signifies cancer, childhood cancer. We want it to be as prominent and as recognized as pink is for breast cancer in October. You know, I've had several friends that have had breast cancer, and thankfully they've survived. But the thing that's prominent about childhood cancer seems to be the St. Jude's commercials. And we're very thankful for St. Jude, but that's not really the true face of childhood cancer. They show smiling children most of the time that, usually have lost their hair, but it's the behind the scenes things that they don't see, and the things that really I feel like would promote them to doing something and to helping anybody that they know that's trying to fight for childhood cancer awareness.
Talking about doing something, Lori, Mayor Woody Jacobs, mayor of Cullman, he had declared September Prostate Cancer Awareness Month because it was very personal to him. His own father had died of prostate cancer. And he also declared Childhood Cancer Awareness Month for the City of Cullman at the same time in honor of Maggie Grant, your granddaughter.
Yes, he did. And I wasn't aware of his, father's passing and of the prostate cancer story. And I kind of felt, bad that I was maybe taking that from him, but he was so gracious to step up and to say to my, he told us that day when we were there, he said, this is much more heart-wrenching than prostate cancer. This is something that breaks everyone's heart, and that meant a lot to me, knowing what he probably had gone through with his father. It was just, it spoke to me of the kind of person that he was. and we were so appreciative of what he did. The write-up was just wonderful. I was just beyond pleased with what they've done.
I will add that Mayor Jacobs said there are children in our community battling cancer right now, and tragically there are some who have recently passed from this terrible disease. I greatly admire Maggie's family and others who find a way to channel their very personal loss into a passionate determination to help others. And right now, I want other people who are listening to also take up this torch and carry it with a passion, knowing that they are making a difference in the lives of these children. You know the stats. You know some stats and numbers of the percentage of money that is going to childhood cancer right now. These are concerning numbers. We know how many children are affected each year by childhood cancer. It's 15,780 children birth to 19 are diagnosed with cancer each year in the United States. And approximately 1 in 285 children in the U.S. will be diagnosed with cancer before their 20th birthday, and 30,000 children are diagnosed with cancer each year. These are incredible numbers, and as you mentioned, when it gets down to it, we're talking about caretakers and parents in a room with a child who is battling this, and it's a horrible experience for the family.
It is. It's something you hope your family never has to go through, and honestly, something that we never thought we would have to go through. And I guess that's what's made it so passionate for me, is that, I've known children here in Cullman County that have had cancer. I know of a little girl that had an inoperable, incurable cancer, a tumor in her brain. And those are some of the most horrible ones you'll see, knowing that child has no hope. Maggie passed in March of this year. We lost another little girl just a few weeks ago, and that's 2 children in Cullman County within the past less than 6 months. I just couldn't sit back and let this happen. I feel like there's other families out there. I know several other families in Cullman that are going through this themselves. We have to stand up and stand for these children. We have to reach out for help for them from our legislators. We have to write letters. We have to call. There's things that can be done to petition our leaders for help for these children. It's sad when you know that 4% of the National Cancer Institute's funding from the federal government is all that goes to childhood cancer research. I wasn't aware of this until Maggie was diagnosed, that there are so many, there's dozens of childhood cancers. It's unreal. You just wouldn't realize it. And to think that all of those cancers are under the umbrella of 4%, when the rest of the cancers, the adult cancers, get the rest of that 96%. It boggles my mind. And I can't sit back and let it happen, But I hope that bringing awareness will bring it to people's mind. And I hope that they will get in the fight with us to try and do something about this.
Right now, I'm talking to Lori Luckhard in Cullman, Alabama. She's a grandmother to Maggie Grant, who was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia on March 18, 2019. She passed away on March 26, 2021. Lori, when we come back, I want to talk about how people can get involved. I know that this is gold in September, and I want to talk about these opportunities for people in Cullman and outside of Cullman as well. Will you stick with me?
Certainly, yes.
All right, folks, I hope you'll stick with us as we continue this conversation. The month of September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and I hope you're finding opportunities to make a difference in the lives of these children. You are listening to The Mark White Show, and I'm your host, Mark White.
A little wink, a pat on the back, a big old hug, a little laugh. We can make a difference. All we have to do is try. Yeah, every day's a chance to change somebody else's life. Let's all do something good today.
Mr. Cecil Batchelor is the one that started this business as Dependable Service Center. And even though now it's Green's Dependable Hardware and we're a True Value store, our tagline is still Your Dependable Service Center. We've tried to keep that alive for all these years. Mr. Batchelor really started a good business. We're really excited to be carrying on a long-standing tradition. It's the oldest retail store in the city of Russellville. We're Green's Dependable Hardware, 15220A Highway 43 in Russellville, Alabama. We're right behind McDonald's or right across the street from the hospital. Number is 256-331-0123.
Your Dependable Service Center.
Located in Tuscumbia, Alabama, the Alabama Music Hall of Fame honors Alabama's music achievers. You can even go into the recording studio and try out your talents as a singer. That's the Alabama Music Hall of Fame, located at 617 Highway 72 West in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Give them a call at 256-381-4417. Check them out on the web at alamhof.org. Thompson Roofing and Construction is a locally owned family business serving the North Alabama and Southern Tennessee area. They are a Better Business Bureau A+ member since 2011 and a GAF Master Elite Contractor. Give them a call at 256-952-3309 or check them out on the web at 256roofing.com. They offer free inspections.
Thompson Roofing and Construction.
Is it time for a haircut? Go see my friends Philip Butler and B.H. Parker at Southwind Barbershop, located at 1637 Lee Street in Rogersville, Alabama. Give them a call at 256-247-5658. That's 256-247-5658.
Yea, after all this time, you're always on my mind.
Hi, this is Rodney Crowell, and you're listening to The Mark White Show, where making the difference in other people's life begins, and we all get on board and give it the best we can.
I still love you. To the city, works extra hard all day, finishes up early so he can get away, 'cause there's a blue-eyed kid on second base, wants dad to watch him play, daddy knows he's waiting.
Welcome back to the Mark White Show. I am glad that you have joined us today as we talk about this very important subject of childhood cancer. If you know someone or you are someone who's had a child with cancer, you know what a horrible experience it can be. You also know that there are people out there who care, and you will find families and individuals and businesses who step up to the plate to make a difference in the lives of these children when they are battling cancer. I hope that people look at the Mark White Show and feel like I step into that role. I hope that people look at Lori Luckhard, who's on the line with me right now, and see what Lori is doing and know that there are people out there who care. Welcome back to the Mark White Show, Lori Luckhard.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here to be able to talk about this.
We're talking about making a difference. We're talking about making an impact in our communities, whether that's Cullman, Alabama, or somewhere else in this country or somewhere else in the world. We each have a way that we can make a difference, and it's just about taking that first step.
That's exactly right. All it takes is one step. When I first wanted to get involved with this, I've been feeling the drive to do something. I just couldn't, like I said before, I couldn't sit back and do nothing. And when Danielle and Lana, which you've talked to, started selling the yellow bows, and we're going to donate the money to Children's Hospital for the cancer floor, that just kind of sparked everything for me. I wanted to get involved. I knew that would help spread the awareness. That just kind of started my push. Then, we did the banner for the courthouse, and there's just, all it takes is one step. You reach out, you get a bow, and you put it on your mailbox or your door, your business front. And when people ask, you explain to them what's going on, what childhood cancer is. And maybe, you get a spark. It's like, I praise God that I have the ability to do this. And I feel like He has given me this drive. And it's the same thing as reaching out to people to try to share God's word. When you plant a seed, God takes it from there. And that's what I'm hoping to do here. I'm hoping that people will have a seed planted in their heart, in their mind. They'll take it from there and want to bring awareness to childhood cancer, want to help us in the fight to stop this horrible disease that's affecting our children across the world. And I'm just thankful, like I said, that I'm able to do that. It's not easy, but it has to be done. And I think that's what people would realize. If you look in the eyes of these children, you see their hope, and they look at you and know that you're there with them. And when you see that hope in their eyes, it makes you hope. You've never seen a fight and a strength like you'll see in a child that has cancer. As adults, I've had many people say to me, I don't think I could have gone through what they go through. I honestly don't. I don't think I could have gone through it either. I've prayed many nights that it would have been me instead of her. But, we have God's will for our lives, and that wasn't His will. But it is our will to do something. It is in our heart to do something. And that's what I'm trying to do. I want this to be something of Maggie's legacy. I want it to be something that she would be proud of. And that's all I can do is just put the word out, bring awareness to people and try to help them understand that 4% is not enough for our children.
Lori, you made the point very well as you talked about Danielle and Lana Turner, who I had on the show last week, as hashtag Fight Like Lana Grace is out there, her effort with the gold ribbons. I have talked to the Shoemaker family, also in Cullman County, when we talk about Little Baker. There is a connection that is established between these families. As you saw what Lana Turner was doing with Fight Like Lana Grace, now you're on a mission. Someone else is going to see what you're doing, and they're going to also find a place to make a difference. It's amazing to see one person have an effect on another and to keep growing the effort because one person decided that they wanted to make a difference.
That's all it takes. It just takes one person. There's so many ways that you can help other than writing letters. There's so many organizations out there that take donations for research. There's the American Childhood Cancer Organization. There's the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation, where we do have a donation site set up in Maggie's name for research. There's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, who were a great help when we found out after Maggie's bone marrow transplant that she had relapsed. They were the people that I reached out to try to find trials that she could be in. There's just so many places that people can reach out to try to help. If they made one donation, if they made a donation every month, that makes a difference. No matter how small, that makes a difference in a child's life.
as we look at the Cullman County Courthouse and we see a banner that's out there. I was touched by that. And I want you to share about this banner and what you want families who are in the Cullman area to do with this banner. And then also I want people outside of the Cullman County area to be encouraged or maybe inspired to do something similar.
Well, the banner, it was the first thing that popped into my mind when I thought about trying to put something up after we had done the September Childhood Cancer Awareness Proclamation. And I kept thinking, there needs to be a banner in the public eye that someone can see. And then I thought about children's handprints. We've put children's handprints all over the banner in different colors. And what I would like for families to do, whether they're in Cullman, it doesn't matter. If you can make it to the Cullman Courthouse, I'd like for you, if you have a child in your family, whether it's your child, your grandchild, your niece, your nephew, and put your child's name on that handprint. Pick out a handprint and just put their name under there. And if they're a survivor, you can write survivor there. If they're not, and you want to put a little halo, you're more than welcome to do that. I just want the public to become aware of how many children locally are in this fight, how many have been through the fight, and thankfully how many of them are still with us here. And I think if we can show that and make that kind of impact to people, they might realize how serious the situation is. And that's my hope, that people will realize that this is not a rare disease. There are dozens and dozens, like I said before, of children's cancer that I had never even heard of. And there's so many instances of those childhood cancers in our area, in Alabama, in the United States. So I feel like if there's just one way we can bring awareness, maybe that would be a good way to start. And it's not much. Maybe I'm hoping next year we can do more. Maybe we can, have a walk, have a rally, something like that. But you have to start somewhere, and this is where I thought would be the best way to start.
Oh, I think it's a great start, Lori, and I do want to thank cities and counties and states who get behind the childhood cancer awareness effort, but I also want to acknowledge those individuals who simply say, I'm going to do something, and they step up, and maybe they put a gold ribbon on the door of their business. There's no big movement necessarily in their community for this, but they're getting the ball rolling and they're getting it started. And so for things like that, we don't have to have permission. We can just take a step and do this and decide what we're going to do for childhood cancer awareness. And whether it's financial or something physical like a sign or a banner or a bow, there is something that we all can do. And as you mentioned, there are some great organizations out there, and I do want to make sure that we call them back out. The American Childhood Cancer Organization, I've covered them on the Mark White Show a couple of times, and also children who have received support from ACCO. And people can go to acco.org to find out more information about them. We also have the National Cancer Institute at cancer.gov. We have the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation at nationalpcf.org, the American Cancer Society at cancer.org. And then last but not least is this effort for Maggie Kathryn Grant and her brave battle with childhood cancer to make a donation toward childhood cancer research in Maggie's memory. People can do that by going to nationalpcf.org, and that's the way that people can donate in honor of your granddaughter.
If you go to the nationalpcf.org foundation or website, up in the top there's a search button, and if you click on that and type in Maggie, it will also bring up that website for her donation area.
Lori, I want to thank you for joining me here on the show today. I know that there is pain in this, the loss of 4-year-old Maggie. In the pain, you have found purpose, and that's something I like to say is find our purpose in the pain. You and your husband, Rob, and your family are carrying on the legacy of Maggie in an enormous way, and I don't know that you even realize the impact that you're having in your community and beyond because of Maggie. And I just want you to keep on doing what you're doing, and I appreciate what you're doing for the childhood cancer community.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I don't want it to bring honor to me. I want it to bring honor to Maggie and to glorify God in it.
You've got it. Thank you for joining me here on the show today, Lori.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Folks, that's Lori Luckhard, and she is making a difference in her community. And as I mentioned, it's going to make a huge difference beyond. If you're listening right now and you're in the Cullman area, I want you to get involved with what Lori's doing. If you're not close to Cullman, find a way to make a difference. This is your opportunity. Maybe you've been looking for some way to make a difference. This is your chance. Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, September. And as Lori mentioned, it's a year-round effort. I'm going to continue to do what I do to try to bring awareness to childhood cancer, and I want you to find your place in this special community. Here on the Mark White Show, we recognize difference makers like Maggie Grant. If this show encourages you and inspires you, I want you to share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors. Let them know about the Mark White Show and what we're doing to make a difference. You can follow the Mark White Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And you can also subscribe to the Mark White Show podcast via Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Audio Boom, SoundCloud, Blueberry, YouTube, and TuneIn Radio. You have been listening to another edition of the Mark White Show, and this is Mark White, encouraging you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today.
Who live and love in my hometown. These are my kind of people.
Boutique Air in Muscle Shoals, Alabama offers direct flights to Atlanta and Pensacola. Boutique Air service runs twice daily, 7 days a week, with fares starting at $59. Follow Boutique Air Muscle Shoals on Facebook at Boutique Air MSL and book your flight through boutiqueair.com. Boutique Air,
where you can fly private for the cost of commercial.
Don't just throw a tailgate, own the tailgate with a Bojangles Big Bow Box. Because only Bojangles puts tailgate-ready fresh, never frozen, honey barbecue or buffalo bone-in wings with fall-off-the-bone juiciness right in the pocket. The only way to make these wings any better? With some made-from-scratch buttery biscuits, flavorful fixins, and freshly steeped legendary iced tea. So let the quarterback do the throwing, you do the winning. Because how can you expect to win the game if you don't win the tailgate? Bojangles, it's bow time.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. Losing a loved one is hard, but losing a loved one and not having an estate plan is even harder. Attorney Harlan Mitchell witnessed what not having an estate plan can do to families and decided to use his experience to do something about it. I encourage you to go to BamaEstatePlanning.com or give Harlan Mitchell a call at 256-216-9884. Again, that website is BamaEstatePlanning.com. Let Harlan Mitchell help you with estate planning. Do it for those you love, and do it today.
Oh, won't you hear me, people, when I say, well, let's all do something good today. Something good today.